Hello everybody, welcome to another video. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, I want to welcome you guys to my YouTube channel, Mark Stair Productions. If you're watching this on Facebook, I'm probably going to upload a separate video to Facebook that's not associated with my YouTube channel just because it is able to reach more people if I just do a direct upload. Now today I'm doing a reaction video to a video that really resonated with me. I saw this maybe a few days ago or a week ago, and then again it shows up in my recommended, as YouTube faithfully does, if the algorithm thinks that you would be interested in it. And I didn't at first have any intention of making a reaction video to this, but when I revisited this video, it really kind of hit me and resonated with me, and I felt compelled to do a reaction video to this because I think what is discussed in this video, what this gentleman discusses and is really honest about in his experience, is something that a lot of people have experienced, especially in this age range of like 22, 23 to like 29 or 30, because it's just that time of life where you kind of move from being kind of semi-dependent to becoming completely independent. And I think that's just a part of growing into adulthood. C.S. Lewis had the quote of, one day he turned 30 and he basically thought to himself, well, and I'm paraphrasing here, it's finally he's like a living, breathing, adult. And it's just that realization of like, whoa, like we need to really take a hold of our lives and like, we are responsible for everything that takes place, and that, well, at least pertaining to ourselves. And it's just that idea of responsibility that really makes someone really become an adult. And so the title of this video is 25 years old, I have no friends, and I have social anxiety. And this is a real sentiment among a lot of people this age, just like I said, and I think this resonated not only with myself, but a lot of people who have watched this video, and as evidenced by the amount of likes on this video and the amount of views on this video. I think he said this was like the first video he's ever uploaded, and just like I said, it's resonated with a lot of people. And I just want to hop right into this, and I will pause the video systematically as I share some ideas on some of the thoughts that he shares with us. And I think this opens up an open kind of dialogue to, at least allows me to share a little bit about my experience that I can relate to, that this guy kind of presents here. So let's just jump right into it.
I am 25 and I have no friends. I guess I wanted to kind of go into why I have no friends, and I guess where it all started and when I started to notice that maybe I was not that good at socializing. I guess as a kid, I never had an issue socializing. I was almost like the popular kid. Like through high school, I was friends. I never fit in. Like everybody knew of me, but I never really fit in. I knew the popular, I guess you had the popular kids, and then you had the kids that just were not popular, or the nerds. And I knew I was friends with both of like the cliques. And I knew them both, but I never was close with any of them. I remember because when I would go to lunch one day at high school, I was wondering, I was like, where am I gonna sit? Because we had different shifts. We had a first shift, a second shift, and a third shift for lunch. And I went to Liberty High School. It's in Kansas City, and it was a pretty big school. I remember that was like the biggest thing I was worried about. I was like, where am I gonna sit at lunch? Like, what table am I gonna sit at? And I knew I could sit, with just about anybody, but I wasn't really that close with anybody. So I was kind of lost. I was like in a phase of, I just really didn't have any close friends. And I started to notice this once I turned about 23. At 23, I really started to notice that I was not that good at socializing, or my social skills were going down. through high school, my skills were okay. I was able to talk and laugh and interact. But 23, nobody likes you when you're 23. I remember though, 23, I really started to take notice that my skills were they were not there. I was not able to, click with, like, couldn't bond with somebody. I couldn't make a connection with different people. And once I started to take notice of this, it started getting worse. I noticed, once I started noticing, it's like it started getting quite a bit worse. And I was wondering, I was like, what is going on with me? Like, I was like, I was always okay. Like, why, I can't, do I have anxiety or social anxiety? Like, I didn't even know what these things were until I started, like, midway through being 23. I started looking up, what is the cause of this? And I, like, came across anxiety. And
All right, so I'm going to stop the video right here, mainly because I've got some thoughts I'd like to share and some things that I think are pretty similar. I can draw some pretty similar personal experiences that I've had that this gentleman has had. At the time this video was uploaded, this guy was 25 in August, and I was 25, in August of 2020. And so we're essentially around the same age, 26 now. But I think I've gone through a lot of the same things that this guy has, and the same thoughts, the same experiences. And so the thing that he talks about in high school that he was going through, it was like he found it easy to talk to different, I guess, types of people, like regardless of their social status or whatever in high school, which is just a completely other kind of different topic. And it's just unfortunate that there's those things, but it's just a reality of life. You have the popular kids, the unpopular kids, and everything in between. And this guy could have socialized with about anybody. And the same thing was true for me. Didn't matter whether they were one group of people or another group. I could talk to anybody. And if you were to reach out to anybody in my high school, whether they're my friends or not, but knew me, they would attest to the fact that this would be true, that I could socialize with anybody, not feel nervous or have any kind of problem with that. And going into the cafeteria, it was just like I didn't worry about who I would sit with or anything like that. But then when it came to like college, and I think part of the reason that this kind of happens is because going through high school and everything, generally people that kind of grew up with you or grew up knowing you through elementary school and middle school or junior high and then high school. But in college, it's kind of like a clean slate. You don't know anybody's backstories. They don't know your story. I think that may be partly the reason why there's this kind of anxiety. So when I was in college, my freshman year of college, I had anxiety of going into the dining hall because all the tables were packed. It was oftentimes hard to find a place to sit. And naturally being an introvert, I most evenings I would much rather stay in my own dorm room rather than go and walk to the dining hall and try to find a seat because that caused me a lot of social anxiety. And at the time, I really didn't know why, but I would just much rather, stay in my dorm room, go to like the convenience store and grab something to eat and just eat my dinner in my dorm room. And that was much more preferable to me at that time than to experience the kind of anxiety that comes along with going to the dining hall. And so I resonate with this, with this gentleman here. And it's like, man, brother, I know what you went through and what you are going through. And we're at similar kind of stages in our lives of just, age wise. And I'll just continue with this video and
social anxiety. And I was like, wow, like, how did I not know about this? I didn't know anything about it before, 23 years old. And I started to look it up and, get a feel for it. And I was like...
Another thing, too, I'd like to point out real quick is if you were to just meet this guy in public, or you didn't know him, just by his appearance, you would never know. I mean, he's got the stylish glasses, he's got the stylish hair. His hair is better than mine. It's and he looks really well, just presentable, and you would never know the things that were going on inside of him, inside his mind, inside his heart. That's the kind of things that a lot of people tend to just kind of overlook. And, you just see this guy and be like, oh, he's got things together, and, but really, when just by watching this video and he's sharing his heart, he's pouring out his thoughts, and it's just like, man, and, we can't, we have to approach this without an attitude of like judgment or anything, because he's just being honest with us. And I know in the description, it's basically like he's writing a journal, and this is basically a journal of him kind of just sharing his thoughts, and just being honest. And I really appreciate that about them. So appearance does, have an effect on how people perceive you, but guess what? It doesn't tell the whole story, and that's why it's important to communicate with one another, and to share these thoughts. And I think that's why this video has really clicked with people.
Like, wow, okay, maybe I have some social anxiety, and lo and behold, since 23 it has done nothing but it's just gotten worse, and significantly worse. So much so that I've just, that's like kind of been my life goal lately, is like, what can I do to overcome this social anxiety thing that I have? And so 23, and then 24 comes around, and it's just continuing to get worse. And at this point I know that I truly have like a mental issue. Like, I have something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but I have social anxiety. And I remember I went to one of my therapists, and I tried to get I was trying to figure out like what I could do, what is there any medicines I could take. And I started reading online, and through the recommendation of my doctor, he referred me to another doctor that would be willing to help me out, coach me through different medications. And I tried a bunch of different medications. I remember I was trying, I don't know if I have one in here. Yeah, actually I do. Wow, I do have it. But I was trying like all different things. I remember I tried, I jumped on, it was like Prozac or Zoloft. It was one of them. And I remember taking it, it was like 2 or 3 days in, I was like having like really weird motivation issues. Like, my motivation just like took a hit and went down to the tank. I was like, what the heck? And I started looking it up, like doing as much research as I can. Like, I already did some research on it before, but I did more research on it. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, the motivation I lost from it was not worth it. Just 3 days in, I was like reading people have like these, these really bad side effects from it. But anyway, this is actually one of them that I tried. It's called modafinil. And the reason I tried this, actually I got prescribed this. But the reason I tried this was, and this is not great. This is like, but the backstory is, the reason I tried this is because I saw that movie Limitless, and it's NZT28 or something like that. It's supposed to be like a awesome drug or whatever.
The fact that he kind of,
it's like, okay, if this can make me smarter, and make me able to focus in conversation, because a big issue I was having was like, I would talk to somebody, and I would have a hard time, like, even with my friends, like even people I knew. I mean, in the beginning it was actually people I didn't know, but as time got on it got worse, and it was even with people I knew, I would get this rush over me. I don't know if you guys having social anxiety, you know exactly what this is. But you talk to somebody and like you get this rush over you, and it's just like slap in the face. Like, what are you even talking to me about? Like, you're having a full-fledged conversation and you're just trying to hold on for dear life, like hoping you just don't explode. And like it shows on your face, and like, man, I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. That's like the worst thing about social anxiety. And like, it sucks too, because
starts pumping, it starts,
that the other people see it on you. That they see it on you. Like, I see in people talk about how they think that social anxiety, like, you worry about it too much, like, and like the other person doesn't really worry about it. But, like, I don't believe that's true. I believe that 100%, if you have social anxiety, I mean, to the extent that I have it, people notice it on you. They know it on you because I can feel it. Like, I can feel them knowing I have it. Like, and that's, I don't agree with everybody that says that maybe, you know, other people don't worry about it. Like, yeah, I think, I mean, they notice. And that's the worst part. It's, you know, feeling like you're gonna die is one thing, but it's like, you know, knowing that the other person sees you like this is even worse. It's like, shit. And like making eye contact is like hard.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's like giving a speech or presentation, and if someone
it sucks.
in the
if
audience,
social anxiety, you know exactly what I'm talking
like, senses
about.
that you're nervous,
But
it makes
anyway, where I was going with this is that I've been trying several different
puts them in a state of
medications,
uneasiness.
like so many things, and like nothing has really worked so far. I mean, I'm 25 now, and this has been going on for, you know, 2.5 years that this has really been, like, taking a toll on my life. And it sucks because I have no friends now after college. I mean, even back in college, I went to Mizzou, and I ended up joining a fraternity. And even at the fraternity, it wasn't really me. Like, doing that was not really me, but I really wanted to party, and it's hard for guys to party if you're not in a fraternity. And I remember I joined a fraternity, and it was just like, I did not fit in with anybody there. I was still like I was like an introvert. I want to be social, but I'm an introvert at the same time. It's contradicting itself, I know, but hard to explain.
Amen, brother. That's me.
But anyways, I've tried so many medications,
not the partying part.
You know, it's just not working. I mean, 2.5 years into trying this, I've tried. Right now, I'm on testosterone.
All right, I'd like to kind of clarify something here. Is that, and I wanted this to be kind of like uncut and just raw reaction. So, I really resonate with the whole, like, being like an introvert and everything. And the more you learn about it, it's not about being shy or anything. But what he said, it's this desire to be in community with people, but yet you are your own, like, worst enemy, because to initiate those social engagements is a weak point. And us who've kind of experienced this, you know, we are kind of keeping ourselves from the thing that we are most desiring, which is being in community with people. And so when we become really self-aware and self-conscious about our lack of skill in communicating with people and socializing with people, it almost becomes like a barrier for us that, you know, we're not confident. And then we kind of just shut down altogether and don't interact with people. And so then it ends up with, like, in my own experience, locking ourselves in our own dorm room and just kind of shutting the world out. And that's just an unfortunate thing that I think a lot of people feel. And again, that's why this video, I think, resonates with so many people.
Injections on high dose testosterone, because I've read, and it can help significantly with social anxiety. And it does. I can say that it does. It's like, it helps with social anxiety in the fact that it makes you not worry about it as much. But it doesn't help in the fact that you still have a hard time talking to people. You still get that rush over you. Nothing I've tried other than, like, benzodiazepines, like, clonazepam. I've tried those. Those are, I mean, shit, if I could live like that amount of calm, I would be able to make many friends. But I can't. It's not sustainable.
Right. Just temporary fixes.
Lo and behold, I have no friends. And it's like...
One thing I'd like to point out here is just his initial feeling of, like, depending on these medications to help him feel a certain way or feel comfortable interacting with people. And like he said, it's not sustainable. And it's just sad that a lot of people tend to go to these types of things to think it's going to solve these issues and improve their life, and when that's just not the case.
It's getting harder as I get older. You know, it's after college, I don't keep in touch with any of my friends. I didn't keep in touch with any of my friends after high school, and it's just getting harder. And I'm reading more and more, just mainly on Reddit, of so many people's different experiences. I'm doing so much research on what I can try, what I can do to get over this. And I mean, I've tried a lot. I'm still trying a lot of things. Like, I've got a big stack of nootropics and supplements that I'm on, and they are helping. They are helping, for sure. But it's still like it's worrying. It's scary too, because I have to go out and get a job now, like a big boy job. And I know that the world is not fair. You have to make connections in order to get a job. And like, I want to be successful. I want to go out and, you know, I want to make a lot of money. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to help people. If I could help people and make money at the same time, that would be awesome.
Okay, what he says right here, real quick, is so in a lot of studies that I've read on this age group, and we're kind of on the back end of the millennial generation, and one of the main things that millennials perceive as their main goals in life is to make a lot of money, to be entrepreneurial. And I know a lot of people who around my age are wanting to start their own business or have this entrepreneurial spirit of just like working, and with the goal of making a lot of money. And now that goal in and of itself isn't a bad thing, but it can lead to some negative things. And this guy is kind of feeling that same thing. He wants to do something good for the world, and he wants to contribute, but also make money while doing it. And obviously he brings this up because it is his social anxiety is kind of like a hindrance in him kind of achieving that. You know, he's 25 years old. He's a full-grown adult. He's got to go out and, you know, figure life out and to get a job so that he can do the things that he wants to accomplish, which is to contribute to people and help people. And so, you know, a lot of people wrestle with that, and that's reality. Regardless if you think, you know, he should already be established and have a job right now, that those points are kind of irrelevant, because this guy's just sharing what he is thinking, and this is his reality right now. So let's continue.
That would be, yeah. Anyway, I got off topic there, but yeah, so I have no friends, and it's getting harder to make friends, and I know that you guys probably know this as well. If you're, you know, anywhere around 25, 24, 25, 26, 23 even. I mean, I graduated late, but, you know, I'm 25 now.
Same here. Graduated.
And it's getting significantly harder to make friends. So I guess I just wanted to get on here because I know that I can reach more people, and more people are in the same position I am. I know I'm not the only one. I'm very pro-minded about trying to fix this issue. Like, I want to fix this. I'm going to do whatever I can to fix this, because making connections with people is, gosh, it's the best feeling ever. And I care so much about that because I grew up kind of alone. Like, I didn't really have, you know, brothers or sisters, and I don't know. I had two friends I really connected with, you know, when I was younger, you know, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, yeah, 23 started falling off a little bit. But the connections I made with people like that, if you've ever made a connection with somebody, gosh, it's just like a good feeling, like, man. So I guess I'll wrap this up, but yeah, this was kind of, I don't want this to seem negative. There's no...
All right, so I'm going to stop the video right here.
No happy...
and he just kind of wraps things up, and I'll pause the video on a spot where he doesn't look kind of... Yeah, he probably wouldn't appreciate me pausing at a weird spot on the video. But yeah, this whole video resonates with me. The thoughts on social anxiety and kind of coming out of that stage of dependence to complete independence and making friends. And, you know, I'm a Christian, and I believe we are made for community, that we are made to be in fellowship with one another. And you can even go back to like Aristotle, where he talks about human beings being created for community as well. And this is just one of those inherent parts of being human. You know, we're not made to go through life alone. And this is what this guy is pretty much saying. And he is craving these relationships, not just kind of surface level relationships, but like he said, it's a great feeling that kind of comes over him when he actually is able to engage in a conversation with somebody and to make those connections. And so I just like to end this video by saying, man, like, I know you're probably still in Missouri right now, but hey, if you'd like to have someone to contact, someone to talk to, man, I'm free to talk with you anytime, or and we could work those details out. But I know that there's a lot of people in the community that I live, in close proximity to, where it's like people of this age group, and that are feeling these same types of social anxieties. And that's why I'm on staff at a church, and I have a young adults group that meets every single week. And mainly because I realize the importance of being social and providing an environment where, there is like no judgment in the sense of looking down on people, for whatever stage in life they are, because that really has no positive effect on people's lives. And so, if you're watching this and you're like a young adult, and you're trying to navigate through life, and you have some of these social anxieties, and you're craving community, and you relate to a lot of the things that were displayed in this video, I encourage you to, attend our small group. And again, you can contact me, in the comments below, if you're in the area, or if you're on Facebook and you're watching this video. And so I'd just like to end this video with this thought, is that, man, I hope, you find your way. I hope you gather some close friends alongside of you that will go through life with you and encourage you and build you up, because the importance of that is you can't put a price on that. And I wish you the best. And that's it. That's going to be the end of the video. Thanks, guys, for joining me.